Warm-up bosses usually appear in a game's tutorial section at some point during the opening sequence, or as a boss battle at the end of the first level. Like all bosses, they're designed to test players' skill and ability. They're also the first time players might have to pay attention to other aspects of gameplay such as healing. Thing is, some opening sequence bosses are so ruddy and difficult they catch even the most seasoned players unawares. Slitherfang, Horizon Forbidden West.
Finishing this the hard way. I need to take this thing down to get to the data center.
The first true test of Aloy's battle skills in Horizon Forbidden West comes early on in the form of the snake-like machine Slitherfang. Reminiscent of a deadly cobra, Slitherfang's acid spray, purge water spray, and sonic blast ranged attacks must be dealt with first if Aloy has any hope of surviving the encounter. Even when Slitherfang's acid and purge water sacs have been disabled, the serpentine mechanoid is still a worthy boss to warm up for returning Horizon Forbidden West players due to its substantial array of attacks. And it's a fantastic introduction for new Horizon players, with Aloy able to reveal a host of components by scanning with her focus. Helicopter, Shinobi 2002. Shinobi games are synonymous with controller-smashing difficulty, and 2002's Shinobi for the PlayStation 2 is as hardcore as those classic 1980 arcade titles. The first level in Shinobi 2002 is rudimentary enough. Hack a few ninjas, run along a wall, take out a tank. The first true boss encounter comes shortly after, and it's in the form of a helicopter circling over an inner-city car park. The tank encounter teaches Hatsuma a deftly timed sword slice on the nose of the machine is the optimal solution. And so it goes for the helicopter, although timing the jumping, slicing, and targeting of the chopper's front end takes a little getting used to. Scorpion Sentinel, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Heads up. What in the hell?
The Scorpion Sentinel is the first boss Cloud and Barret encounter in Final Fantasy VII's 2020 remake. Appearing in the Mako reactor, the Scorpion Sentinel is fast and powerful, and is a true test of the skills and abilities learned up to this point. Cloud and Barret won't have the accessibility to scan for weaknesses at this point, but aside from this, the Scorpion Sentinel is the perfect vehicle with which to test a variety of battle skills that'll be depended on later in the game. It's opportunity to practice dodging targeted attacks, deploying spells, and learning how to deal with being bound. And whilst the boss can be forgiving, it's a challenging and exhilarating encounter to kick things off. Ludex Gundyr, Dark Souls 3. Warm-up bosses in Dark Souls are routinely slow yet immensely powerful, their attacks amply telegraphed. That being said, even series veterans were taken aback with the tutorial boss of Dark Souls 3, Ludex Gundyr. A towering form of man protected by intricate cast-iron armor, Gundyr attacks with menace and aggression. Once his health is half depleted, a gigantic pus of man will emerge from his back, transforming his moveset in the process. Gundyr's secondary form is still sluggish, but deals out massive amounts of damage, meaning any player who fails to spot a telegraphed attack is likely meeting certain death. Mazuki, Gozuki, Nioh 2. The first boss encountered in the ridiculously challenging Nioh 2 is Mazuki, encountered at the end of the Village of the Cursed Blossoms mission. This yokai-horned humanoid horsehead is a rampant challenge of the dodge, block, key pulse, and burst counter skills, which players should have been honing throughout the first level. Their swinging attacks are fast, with range that's super hard to jump out of the way of every time. As challenging as Mazuki is, Nioh 2 players should spend time battling Gozuki earlier in the level. Gozuki is a great opponent, with which to practice stance changes and key pulsing. Defeating Gozuki is key to taking on Mazuki, although the latter's expanded attack styles will still frustrate even the most skilled player. Goopy Lagrande, Cuphead. Actually, there are two bosses which Cuphead players can choose to take on first, the jovial dancing vegetable Root Pack and overconfident blue goo Goopy Lagrande. Either could have made it onto this rundown, but Goopy's bounce and lunge moveset is arguably more annoying, especially as they became more powerful and unpredictable in Phase 2. Phase 3 sees Goopy transform into Gravestone, which mercifully is avoidable enough, albeit super powerful. With no projectiles in Goopy Lagrande's arsenal, he's the perfect tutorial boss to warm Cuphead players up for their hair-pulling frustration awaiting them in later bosses. Daisaku Kuze, Yakuza 0. Tojo Clan Lieutenant Daisuke Kuze catches many a Yakuza player unawares. Appearing as the first boss in the prequel Yakuza 0, Kuze is supremely challenging due to player character Kiryu's relative lack of ability. Even seasoned Yakuza players were taken aback by Kuze's ferocity. His health bar is astronomical, his combos lethal, and worst of all, if he defeats you, you're back to brawling through his faceless goons before facing him again. Genichiroshina, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Another From Software title on this rundown, the first encounter with Genichiroshina technically isn't supposed to be beatable. You see, Wolf losing their arm in this encounter is vital to the story, so should Genichiro be defeated, then a random kunai will be thrown at you, allowing Genichiro to chop your arm off anyway. Play the conventional way, however, and Genichiro represents the perfect introduction to Sekiro's unique combat style. One more focused on breaking down opponents' balance and posture before delivering a killer blow. The Chain, Fury. The Chain, or the Jailer, is the first in a raft of bosses in 2016's Fury, a game consisting almost entirely of boss fights. The first of those encounters, the Chain, is the perfect introduction to Fury's furious hack-and-slash bullet hell mechanics. A brutal staff-wielding jailer, the Chain's battle encompasses multiple phases, growing increasingly difficult as the fight goes on. The final phase sees the Chain able to react quicker and teleport faster alongside a brief moment of invincibility where they taunt player character, the Stranger. Metal Gear Ray, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. First appearing in Metal Gear Solid 2's Sons of Liberty, the AI-operated war machine Ray re-emerges at the outset of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance and tests Raiden's early game skills to the limit. The technique is simple enough. Attack its feet to activate blade mode, then get slicing armor off, before retreating via ninja run. Thing is, it's easier said than done. Ray unleashes an array of missiles to unsettle the player, with the most devastating of all, the plasma cannon, being unblockable. Brock, Pokemon Yellow. In Nintendo Game Boy Classics Pokemon Red and Blue, Brock, as the first gym leader you encounter as Ash, competes with rock types, Geodude and Onix, both level 12 and level 14 respectively. In Yellow, his Pokemon are downgraded to 10 and 12. You'd think this would be an easier encounter, but in Red and Blue, your starter Pokemon are Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Charmander, grass, water, and fire types, with grass and water effective against rock types. For Yellow, your starter is the electric Pikachu, a Pokemon type next to useless against Brock's rock Pokemon. You're going to have to graft for different Pokemon before Pewter City Gym if you've any chance of defeating Brock in Pokemon Yellow. Ottawa, The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. The masked jungle warrior and boss of Majora's Mask first dungeon, Woodfall Temple, Ottawa comes packing with a blade triple the size of Link's sword, and with it, a ridiculous reach. What's more, Ottawa has a massive shield, so hitting him with a sword or stunning him with a bow is super challenging for Link. The trickiest aspect of fighting Ottawa is the speed at which he slices downwards with his blade. It's a move that isn't massive telegraphed and causes lethal damage should it land. On the plus side, he doesn't have to leave himself exposed by dawdling after every sword swing and dancing to summon his minions. Garmakilma, Contra. Harking back to the days of uber-challenging arcade difficulty, Contra is the Rambo-esque run-and-gun with both side-scrolling and 3D sections. In the original 1986 arcade version, the first boss is technically the Defense Wall. The Defense Wall is an iconic Contra boss, appearing in almost every subsequent title in the series. As it happens, it's little more than a minor obstacle. The true first boss in 1986's Contra is Garmakilma, an ocular-shaped defense mechanism that shoots rings of fire at intruders. Its attached spread guns are frustrating to avoid too, rapidly firing 3 shots that are so easy to catch you out when you've one eye on the side-swiping Garmakilma. Frike, Returnal. Regardless of whether the first encounter against Frike occurs an hour or several hours into Housemarque's Returnal, it's inevitably a shock to the system. Frike's moveset is devastating. Circular showers of bullet hell yellow, waves of orange blasts, and powerful beams requiring deft dodge skills occupy the battle's first phase. As the fight progresses into phases 2 and 3, Frike becomes faster and harder to predict. It teleports, it strikes forth with speed, and it double doses on the waves of yellow bullets. It's a supreme test of player skill, requiring a few attempts to learn its attacks before being able to take it down. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on Gaming Bolt.